All right, folks, hey, haven't done a spin in a while. I always like to do the spin. I don't know why I like it. You know, pretty much, you know, shiny things and spinning things. Yay! You know, anyway. Yay! You know, anyway, okay. All right, I'm excited because this is another drum mission instructional, and it's a good one. And I really apologize. It's a week late, I think. It might be just a few days late. I actually did it, and I kind of had to rush through it because I had a car thing, and the election was this week, and I'm kind of a little bit of a political junkie. You know, I'm very left wing. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. Anyway, so I was glued to the TV a little bit. Still am, because we don't know. Anyway, but, you know, I watch a lot of drum videos. And I watch to learn myself. I also watch to see how other, I hate to say colleagues, because I got 408 subscribers now, and some of the guys I watch have, you know, 10,000. And I like watching to see what they're doing right. And, you know, some of them have more money than me right now. And what can I do? And sometimes they inspire me. Anyway, I happened to come across a Dave Garibaldi interview that I had seen before, but I watched it again. And I had decided I wanted to do a little series, a like three-parter on Dave Garibaldi. If you don't know who Dave Garibaldi is, he was the drummer for Tower of Power. And he has a very unique style. But I didn't just want to do, whatever, the top 5 beats of Dave Garibaldi. I wanted to talk about something he talked about with Drumeo, which is like his secret sauce. So, you know, so much of what he does comes from this idea, and what this idea is years ago, 60s, I don't know if the band Redbone was opening for Tower of Power or vice versa, I don't know. But he got to see their drummer, Pete Depoe, play this particular beat, which we're going to talk about today, which had something in it called layered drumming. Now, Pete Depoe, he may have come up with it on his own in Seattle. He's from the Washington area. I don't know if it's Seattle. And I'm posting his like Wikipedia somewhere around here. Anyway, there's something called layered drumming in the King Kong beat, which is what we're going to talk about today. The King Kong beat was what Pete Depoe played that Garibaldi got to witness, and he was so inspired by it, he wanted it to become part of his playing. And layered drumming is different than linear drumming. Now, really, Garibaldi in his playing uses a combination of linear and layered. And layered, what do we mean by layered? It means you're playing two sounds together. Now, really, Clyde Stubblefield, James Brown, and some of those guys were already doing this, but, you know, the mixes weren't quite as good as they are now back then. And so it was hard to tell sometimes what they were doing. You know, when they were playing the hi-hat and snare together, it was hard to hear. So Garibaldi witnessed Pete Depoe playing this with the layered textures of the hi-hat and the snare together. And he was so turned on by it, he thought, okay, I got to learn how to do that. And then if you listen to things like What Is Hip, Oakland Stroke, I Like Your Style, and so forth, and Squib Cake, several other tunes, you'll see how he took that and used it. But not only when you discover layered drumming, this layered technique, it's not only good for funk and Tower of Power and that kind of thing. It's good for so many genres. It's good for the Purdie Shuffle. It's good for Latin stuff. It's good for so many things. And I'm going to demonstrate some of that, because what I'm going to show you today is the King Kong beat and layered drumming, plus my very first Glenndiment. Glenndiment. That's right, a Glenndiment. I'm a whack job. Like it would even hold even a candle compared to, you know, Ganniments. But about a week ago, a week and a half ago really, I started to think about this idea because I'd come across that Garibaldi video, and I came up with a kind of rudiment that you can practice on your pad while you're binging on Netflix or whatever, and work this kind of rudiment out to help your layered drumming get better. But you're going to see, I actually did a version of this rudiment before, but I did it really just leading with my left, and I'm left-handed, you know, left-handed, left politics, the whole thing. I'm lefty all the way, baby, lefty all the way. You know, me and Ned Flanders. I'm going to probably throw a clip in there, so anyway.
Hurry, Nettie, hurry. Oh, golly, it's a miracle.
Come on, you lefties. Oh, what did I tell you? It's all here, and it's all backwards. That's right.
The worm has turned, is it not, my tin-plated friend? Look at you, you who were once so proud. Feel the wrath of the left hand of Burns.
Anyway, you digging on this hoodie? I happen to like this hoodie. And it's one of my favorite. I decided to, I got my Guitar Center shirt underneath here, and I don't want to wear the Guitar Center shirt because you're not paying me to advertise for them. That's how rotten I am. Anyway, where was I? So, what you're going to see is in this rudiment, right, or the Glenndiment as I call it, is going from the left hand to the right hand. Now, you're going to see when I do it even, I'm not that good at it yet from the right hand because I really just started doing it that way like this week. But the left-handed version, I do very, very well. And I'm going to show you two versions of this, one that switches hands, one that doesn't. And you'll see that if you were to work on this rudiment or Glenndiment or whatever you want to call it, I would love if you call it Glenndiment. That would just, if you put in the comments, love the Glenndiments, more Glenndiments, that would just, you know what, make me happy. Because, you know, in the end, this is what I got. This is what I got. Whatever, you know, hopefully I can do this for some more time, more years, make some money, and then get on a boat and go sailing or something. I don't know. I'm 60, so anyway, you doing this rudiment, if you put it into your practice schedule, this will really help you get good at layered drumming and linear drumming, because there's some of that in this too. Anyway, check it out. Let's go right to the drumming lab, you know. Okay, so we're going to go right to the drumming lab, and we are now going to, ladies and gentlemen, talk about the King Kong beat.
Prestige worldwide.
Prestige worldwide.
All right, folks, here we are again in the lab. And we are going over the King Kong beat. And again, as I stated in the opening monologue, and you know, sometimes I forget because I did that opening monologue like 3 or 4 days ago, and I don't know, I didn't do a video last week because it was just a crazy week, but we're gonna do it this week. So I really appreciate subscribers are growing. I really appreciate what's happening with the channel. So as I described before, this was a beat that Dave Garibaldi, who played with Tower Power for years, when he saw Peter Depoe do it, it really inspired him and changed his playing. And it was the seed for a lot of what Garibaldi has done. And the term we have now, I don't know if Garibaldi calls it, and I'm calling it that, is kind of a layered drumming as opposed to linear. And really Garibaldi uses linear and layered together, right? But right after I kind of demonstrate this King Kong beat, I'm going to take you to my very first Glenndiment. That is a rudiment that I sort of created to help you get better at layered playing. All right, let's talk to King Kong beat. This is one of those pivotal. You know, me and the English language have never been friends. Never been friends. All right. Pivotal beats that will really change your playing. So here we go. the King Kong beat, let's start it piece by piece and build it up. Your hi-hat hand, or your lead hand, if you're righty, it's your right hand. If you're lefty, it's your left hand, will be playing 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4 E and 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4 E and all right. Your snare hand, or if you're lefty, your right hand. If you're righty, your left hand will be playing counter to that. It'll be playing 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and so this will create an overlap in your hands, which is why we call it layered, right? We're layering sounds together. So let me go nice and slow and show you. 1 E and so when I do the and, they're both together. Creates this, it's a texture, as opposed to this or just that. So watch. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and so all of the ands, my hands are together. And and you've heard funk beats where you're keeping the hi-hat on the ups, 1 and 2 and 3. It's kind of, or you'll hear, songs with percussion on it, and somebody is playing a fuji, I don't know. I can't talk. Anyway, on the ands, and it creates a feeling, right? So you've got that texture on the ands all the way through that. So let me play that again for you, and maybe a little quicker. So let's anchor it a little bit and put the bass drum on 1 and 3. So the better you can keep your hands together and keep those ghost notes quiet, the better this beat's going to be. Now there are linear versions of this beat, and I just want to demonstrate the hands, which you've heard before, right? Where they take out the layered part, where you go, linear means each hand is playing by itself one at a time, and that would be this. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and which is very common. I do it myself. It's a cool way to play it. That way is actually a little easier to play. However, I feel at moderate to slower tempos, this layered version sounds really cool. Even he does a version of it in What Is Hip, David Garibaldi, which is the Tower Power song, What Is Hip. And I think that song really is, it's like around, I don't know, maybe it's 100, 105. It's not that fast. And it sounds really good there. I think at the faster tempos, the linear one is a little easier to play and lays a little bit better. And you avoid the problem of flamming and all that stuff. But let's do the King Kong beat now. So the bass drum is a little more difficult in the King Kong beat. The bass drum is playing 1 and 3 and right? So nice and slow, and then we'll put some mustard on it. 1 Let's add rim shots, which is the way Garibaldi plays it actually. And probably Peter Depoe plays it. Let's put a little more mustard on it now. And I don't like to do that beat much faster than that, but it's a very cool beat, very cool beat. One more thing that Garibaldi likes to add is the hi-hat opening on the duh of 1 and the duh of 3. Again, slow. I generally don't play that King Kong beat like that much faster than that tempo. But you can hear the textures you get from that. And this opens up a whole bunch of different things you can do. You can use it in the Purdie Shuffle or the Halftime Shuffle. And I'm going to demonstrate that. But first, let's go to the Pad Lab. The Pad Lab. You know, I don't think I'm going to use the Batcave the Batcave clip this time. Let's try to find something else. I don't know. Like going somewhere. I don't know. Maybe I use Star Trek a lot too. Maybe I'll try to find a Star Wars one. I don't know. Not promising though. Not promising. All right. We're going to go to the Pad Lab and I'll show you the exercise that I developed that'll help you get your layered playing together. And by the way, doing this exercise, doing these beats, making your hands play together on the ands like that, and getting control is another way to get you better hand control, which will give you better stick control, which will give you better kit control. Here we go, Pad Lab right now. So here is the Glenndiment. The Glenndiment on the pad, okay? And this is something I just started actually working on a few weeks ago. I kind of came up with it as an exercise to show you. And I never really switched hands with it because pretty much I lead with my left all the time. If you're righty, you lead with your right all the time. So here it goes. Here's the Glenndiment. And if you work on this, you'll get good at it. It'll be good for you. It'll just make your playing better. So watch. We're going to go... I'm starting with my left, you start with your right, 1 E and 2 E and so again we get that overlap, 1 E and right, and then they're together. And so my left hand is playing 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1, right, and I switch over. My right hand is going to play opposite to my right. As we start out, it's going to go 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. Except that 1 will be on my left. Watch. Let's do it slow so you can see. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. Now I'm leading with my right. And leading with my right, which is my weak hand, as leading with your left, you're going to find this much more difficult. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. And I'm back. So let's add a little more cohesiveness to it, a little more mustard to it. So you can hear it better. Not too quick, because to be honest with you, I don't have it off my right hand all that great yet when I'm leading with my right. Off my left, that's fine. I'm going to add that at the very end. A slightly different version that you can do with your lead hand leading consistently and not turning around, because that's actually probably more applicable to your beat playing. So here we go. Here's the switching version. You see it going on? You see it going on? Let's go for broke and try it one time nice and fast. Ending was a little screwy. So here's the version off the left where your lead hand stays consistent the entire time, right? So I'm going to go 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. I just kind of split those last beats up. So here we go. Once or twice nice and slow, then I'm going to put the pedal to the metal. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. you can see how much smoother it sounds off my left, because that's how I play it all the time. And these are both, the switching version and the not switching version are both good for you to practice. All right, back to the full lab. All right, welcome to part 2. Now that exercise is really going to help you get this together. And let me show you just another application right away. A lot of us who watch my channel, we know the Purdie shuffle or the halftime shuffle, whatever you want to call it, right? And most of us do it this way, very linear. Excuse me, I always eat before I do these things. So, I say that all the time too, but I do it every time. Every time. You know, the channel's growing and I really appreciate it. And I'm amazed because I just know that I'm like not that bright. But maybe I know a little bit about this. Maybe, but very little. Okay, so here's the normal way that most of us do the Purdie shuffle, the halftime shuffle. Here we go. Let me add the rim shots. I usually do it with rim shots. But suppose we did it this way. Now the very last of the triplet, the very last of each triplet, not all of them, whatever, one and and then 4 and one and Those last triplets, the let or the da, depending how you're counting, we're doing that together, creating a very small little accent there, very small. So let me do that with the bass drum and you'll hear it, right? First I'm going to do it slow, but not too slow. Now, a little more mustard on it. So you can hear, I like that version of the Purdie shuffle way better than the regular version. I think it flows better, I think it's smoother, I think it just sounds cooler. So again, and that's using layered playing, so it's permeating. I just can't say that word. Permeating. It's entered into my playing. Again,
I'm positive.
You're positive?
He's positive, positive, positive.
You're positive?
I'm positive.
He's positive, positive, positive.
He's positive. He's positive. He's positive, positive, positive.
He's positive, he's positive, he's positive, positive, positive.
He's positive. He's positive. They're positive, positive, positive.
again, it has always been there for a while because I kind of studied this a while ago, but it sort of has, and then I really got into linear, so now studying for this video, it sort of has come back. Let's do one other thing. Let's do a little bit of Latin, right? And rather than put the tom here, I want you to see, here is a linear version of the very well-known, probably you do it in every wedding you ever played, the Cascara. Is it Cascaras? Cascaras? Or is it Cascara? I don't know. Again, me and the English language have never been friends. Never been friends. It's amazing that I've been able to navigate my life this far. Here we go. And many of us have probably done this at weddings. That sounds cool. It's very linear. Again, at faster tempos, I think linear is a little better. Here's the Cascara, which is a little more authentic, right? Because you've always got more than one guy. In the original grooves, they would have a team of percussion players. So watch. I think that sounds better. I think that sounds better. And that's kind of the one I think that sounds better, and I think that's the one I usually do when I'm playing that kind of groove in weddings and things. Anyway, layered playing. Work on it. Work on the Glenndiment. And if you're not subscribing, subscribe. Hit the bell. Do all that, because if I get to 1,000, maybe I'll put together a book that I can sell to make more money, so I don't have to do Uber. I hate Uber. You know what? My windshield got broken on an Uber ride. A boulder fell out of a truck and hit my windshield. Oh my God. Anyway. Let me take you out with the King Kong beat. Enjoy it. See you on the next one. Support the channel. See you soon.